All right, we're talking about Dr. David Patrick Harry again. This is a little clip from Orthodox Nostradamus or Forgery, End-Time Prophecies of Blessed Hieronymus Agathangelos. Now, we're not going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about something else in this video. This is just a little clip where he starts talking about Mormons. And David is mystified why there's so many Mormons working for the State Department, working for intelligence. Why are they doing that? Are they recruiting Mormons to be Manchurian MK Ultra candidates to kill people? Let's listen to what David says.
And so one of the interesting things, which is like a secret within the intelligence world, is how many Mormons are actually recruited by the intelligence agencies. Sound of Freedom. Thank you, Rebel Umbrium. Yeah, Sound of Freedom. So people thought, and I dove down this rabbit hole after this movie came out because the guy was Mormon, and there was a comment, I don't know if it was in the live chat during the stream or something, that said I needed to look into the Mormon connection with intelligence agencies and federal workers. And so I did my own deep dive. This wasn't a stream. This was just my own personal deep dive. And I found...
Keep that in mind. He has said he went on a deep dive. He went on a deep dive to figure out why there's so many Mormons being recruited to the federal government, to the State Department, and to intelligence. Keep that in mind. I went on my own personal deep dive.
That is the case. Based on the percentage in the population, the number of Mormons working for the federal government or in intelligence agencies is pretty high. I was actually astonished, which then is very interesting because there's thoughts that this Tyler Robinson, who assassinated Charlie Kirk, may be part of like an MK Ultra program. Apparently he was recruited by the CIA. He was a 4.0 college student. He dropped out, kind of a weird guy. He's dating a man. He's a homosexual. A lot of weird things going on with him. But I'm just finding a very interesting connection. You know, we typically think of Mormons as like the nice people from Utah that don't really make a scene. But I'm beginning to connect. Maybe there's some workings behind the scenes in the intelligence agencies and activating. Maybe some of these Mormons, maybe they've been recruited specifically. Mormonism is the all-American national.
Yeah, okay. Well, that is probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard. What do you think? That Mormons are being recruited into the intelligence agencies and into the federal government for some nefarious purposes. And now, remember, he said, I did my own personal deep dive. Well, if he did a personal deep dive and he went to go figure out why Mormons are being recruited into Intel and State Department positions, well, he would know. The reason is because they leave the country. Many of them leave the country as missionaries for 2 years. For 2 years, they immerse themselves in the language and the culture. All right? They learn the language before they leave, and then they immerse themselves in the language and the culture to wherever they go to be missionaries for 2 years, and they are isolated from their family for 2 years. As I believe they can only contact their mother on Mother's Day and Christmas. That's it. They get 2 phone calls a year. And so, if he had done a deep dive, he would find these papers. And I asked, I saw these, I've read this stuff a long time ago, so I asked ChatGPT to bring it up, and it says, here's some relevant sources. The Missionary Position, Foreign Policy, 2011. It talks about the global missionary ethos of the LDS Church. Emphasizes how missions send young people overseas, exposing them to languages and cultures. This helps with foreign affairs competence. Mentions political figures like Mitt Romney and John Huntsman, who are ex-missionaries, suggesting their overseas mission experience shapes their views on foreign policy. The conversion of LDS missionaries to other cultures and societies in 2007 by the Center for the Studies of New Religion. Because they speak different languages and no other cultures, observers have shown that professional opportunities have opened to former LSD missionaries. Notes, LSD return missionaries are often recruited by federal institutions where language skills are acquired. Dialogue, a journal of Mormon thought, missionaries in American Indian languages. There are notes in academic journals about foreign missionaries being an under-recognized resource. Many have lived in foreign cultures, speak foreign languages, understand cross-cultural interaction well. This is helpful in things like intelligence, diplomacy, international NGOs. So, there's nothing nefarious about Mormons working in intelligence and in the State Department, especially if they spent their 2 years overseas and not in the United States. I mean, the mind-boggling. This guy says, I did my own deep dive, my own personal deep dive, and he still doesn't understand why the Mormons are recruited into the State Department. He thinks it's some nefarious plot from the CIA that they're going to activate them or something, like Manchurian candidates. And if he thinks Mormons are the nice guys, oh man, and I know a lot of people do. Well, you don't know Mormon history. It's pretty bloody. It's pretty violent. In fact, the author of Sherlock Holmes, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, got in trouble because his first story, Study in Scarlet. Is that his first story? Whatever. His first story is about Mormons. It features the Danites. Bloody, 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 bloody people. Killing people. So anyway, this guy is full of crap, and it just once again shows that his research skills are crap. How can this guy be a doctor? How can he get a doctorate and his research skills are full of crap? I went on a deep personal dive, but I don't understand why there's so many Mormons in the State Department. Get out of here, dude. All right, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.